They will kick it away to Oregon. Beater will be the kicker. Brown and Crenshaw, the deep man for Oregon. Stewart normally is on the deep team to return, but because he's going to carry so much of a load with Jeremiah Johnson out, he will not return kicks today. This is Crenshaw, 4-yard line. Crenshaw fumbles. SC has it. Just like that. Well, there is a start, of course, that Oregon absolutely did not want, and Mike Bellotti and everybody else talking about the fact they must take care of the football. Spit it up on the first offensive, not even the first offensive play, but on the kickoff.
Backup wide receiver Brad Walker causing this fumble. Crenshaw, sophomore out of Southern California. This Oregon team is great when they don't turn the ball over and play perfectly on special teams, and that's his own player before Walker even gets there, causing that fumble. Very tough play. That's Andeel Brown causing that fumble.
Washington will be the setback behind Sanchez. Ball at the 21-yard line. Sanchez going for it all right now, and it is almost intercepted. Getting a hand on that ball was Patrick Chung. Almost had a pick. Triple coverage, really, and a good push up front coming from John Bacon. Let's take a look at the Kyocera lineups. First of all, for the USC Trojans, we talked about Mark Sanchez at the quarterback position, but the guy that he looks to in crucial situations, not his wideouts this year so much, Fred Davis, outstanding tight end, getting better and getting more noticed every week. Listen to the crowd. They are involved. Second half. This is Washington. Washington gets a little room down close to the 15-yard line. That'll be a pickup of about 5 and a late flag. And I think that may go. Oregon is suggesting that that's going against USC.
Things seem to happen faster when the crowd is going wild here in Autzen Stadium. When you're on that opposing team, there is a frantic nature in your heart when you listen to this crowd.
Personal foul on the Trojans.
You make mistakes like that, you're going to see the late hit right here. And that's Shiloh Rashal. He's been injured. He's starting a game. That was a big plus for the Trojans having him back, but that is not a big plus. Play like that, the junior out of Compton, California, Shiloh Rashal having a great year, starting out this game on the wrong foot for the USC Trojans.
Joe McKnight comes into the ball game for the first time today at the running back spot, the freshman out of River Ridge, Louisiana, and he is getting better with every out as well. 6 defensive backs for the Ducks. Third down and 20. Just a 3-man rush and a screen this time. Plenty of room for McKnight at the 20, trying to get outside 15, and he's going to be just short of the first down at about the 13-yard line. Big pickup of about 17. Walter Thurman runs him out.
Beautifully designed play for the Trojans. You always expect a draw or a screen on third down and long, and the Trojans doing a great job that time, finding some space for Joe McKnight. Now they got a decision to make.
4th down and 1. The Trojans will go. The last 6 4th down attempts against this Oregon defense have failed. Big moment early in this game. 2 tight ends, Davis and Thompson. Empty backfield. Give to McKnight. And McKnight is going to be stopped short. John Bacon makes the call. They brought McKnight on a reverse off the wing, and he is stopped short of the first down.
Listen to that crowd, Barry. Big-time play for the Oregon defense. Aliotti's defense stepping up in a big way, but very questionable call to run an end around when you have 1 yard to go for a guy that normally runs sideways as a young freshman. McKnight has got to find a way to get upfield quickly on that play. And like you said, Bacon stepping up and making a good play on the true freshman. And Oregon has recovered from that special teams turnover. Great play by the defense. Questionable call by USC offensively trying the end around.
7 straight stops on 4th down now for the Oregon Duck defense. Dixon with an empty backfield. Now they bring Stewart and line him up in the backfield. They'll give you a lot of different looks. Quick toss this time on a screen to Garen Strong, and Strong will get a couple, no more. Just a quick screen. Here's the defense and the Kyocera lineups for the Oregon Duck, or rather the offense Dennis Dixon, of course, is the quarterback of this Duck team. Jason Williams, he's their deep threat. They had a whole bunch of them, but injuries have depleted the wide receiver core for the Ducks. 2nd down and 8. It's Lewis coming in motion. And Dixon on the keeper, trying to get outside, cannot do it. Great pursuit that time by Kevin Ellison, and a loss of about 3. Kyocera lineups defensively for the USC Trojans. Pick your poison here. Many people feel 7 first-round draft choices on this team. Here's one of them, Lawrence Jackson. I think the onus really is going to fall on the defensive ends in how they can stop that Oregon option.
The key word here, Barry, is discipline for the USC defense, and you just saw it right there. Oregon gives you a lot of looks, and there's a lot of guys running in every direction. You have to watch that offensive line to see where the ball is going.
3rd down and 9. Dixon straight back this time, has time. Now he's going to run, he's got room. Gets a good block to the 20, 1st down and out of bounds. Jonathan Stewart gave him a great block.
He put a big hit on Ray Malaluga, who's a big-time player. 11-yard run for Dennis Dixon, and you see how smart he is. He gets out of bounds immediately before this USC defense can hit him. I think that's a key for USC. They've got to punish Dixon. You see the great block there by Stewart before Harris can come up and make the stop or put some kind of hit on Dixon. He's out of bounds with a 1st down.
At the 25-yard line, Dixon this time going to go up. Now he reverses his field. He can run again. He will with a 30. Gets down close to another 1st down, maybe about a half yard short at the 34-yard line. Let's take a look at our KFC scouting report. It'll give you a little bit of a comparison here of the run offense of Oregon and the run defense of USC. And again, today something's got to give.
And something will give here. Oregon's got to keep running the ball. Dennis Dixon's got to do it. He's got to get down and not take hits, and Stewart's got to punish this defense because he'll be there in the 4th quarter if they let him get involved early.
And so far, Dixon has done exactly the right thing on the keeper again. Again, he gets down. Mike Bellotti told us he's going to have a 1st down here. We're going to go to the sideline right now, and Jim Watson. Waddy?
Well, boys, obviously Dennis Dixon is a focal point in this game. Pete Carroll said he wanted to smack him in the mouth early, maybe slow him down like they did with Jake Locker against Washington. And remember what Mike Bellotti said. He has 3 instructions for Dennis Dixon when he runs the football. 1st down, touchdown, or get down.
And he has done 2 of the 3 so far. He has carried the ball 4 straight times. Dixon this time will put it up, and that's a little miscommunication. Just a miscommunication on the route run by Garen Strong. Remember, they lost 2 starting receivers. They lost Pasinger, then they lost Colvin. And those were 2 guys who could get behind the defense. Right now, they feel they really only have one guy, Jason Williams, and another guy who we will see this afternoon, Terrence Scott, a JC transfer who was going to redshirt. They took the redshirt off him last week.
There are a lot of guys that you can plug into this offense at wide receiver. They're going to put up numbers, but Dixon obviously most comfortable with Colvin and Pasinger and Williams. 2 of those guys are out now, and he's working with some new guys.
4 wide receiver. Here's that quick screen again. And Strong will get it across the 40 to the 41, but it's going to be 3rd and long. Taylor Mays and Ray Malaluga on the tackle.
And that time you saw the speed of the USC defense. Malaluga, Mays getting over there in a big hurry, not giving up a lot of yardage there on 2nd down. And that's what they have to do all game. The key for USC is get off the field, win on 3rd down, so they get their offense back out there and get the defense rest, because this is a fast defense, but they get tired, and Oregon will run you around all afternoon.
3rd down and 7. Dixon. He's got all day to throw it. Now he does, and the ball is caught for a 1st down. And that's going to be Aaron Pflugrad, a guy who just catches everything in his area. He's not going to beat you with a lot of speed, runs great routes, catches the football. Coach's kid.
As you know, his dad, Robin Berry, is a wide receiver coach. He's also worked at Washington State and Arizona State, and his son knows how to find holes in that secondary. Great job by the Oregon offensive line. Thomas Williams ended up making that tackle. USC tried to rush 4 there and get a rush with it, and they could not. They're going to have to start blitzing if they want to get any kind of pressure on Dixon when he drops straight back like that on 3rd and long.
It is a very good and a very experienced offensive line that the Ducks have. Here's Stewart for the first time. And Stewart will get about 2, maybe 3. Kyle Moore on the tackle.
And it seems right now, Barry, that Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator for the Ducks, is trying to run USC sideline to sideline, trying to spread them out like he does everybody, and hoping those holes open up for later in the game inside for Jonathan Stewart. They do have to get him the ball, though, so he's comfortable when they start feeding it to him.
Well, here he is again, and Stewart this time will only get about a yard. That's shut down nicely defensively by Keith Rivers.
Well, those plays where you expect Stewart to get from one side of the backfield to the other are not going to be easy for him against the speed of this Trojan defense. That time closing up well, and here's another 3rd down. This is the key to the game for both sides of the ball. Got to win on 3rd down if you want to win this game.
3rd and 6 this time, and now Dixon has to roll away from trouble, and he is not going to be able to do it. He's going to be dropped for a loss of 4, and the Ducks will have to give it up. Again, a good defensive play, this time by Cedric Ellis. And you start talking about heroes on the USC defense, you may as well just name 11 guys.
Yes, but Cedric Ellis is their senior leader, 6'2", 305 senior, a guy that paid his dues for a long time in USC. He's a preseason All-American, and everybody in the Pac-10 loves his ability to play with his feet.
So the Ducks will give it up, and this is a short kick. And it is going to go out of bounds. Well, it's still in play, and finally down at about the 25-yard line. Never did get to the sideline. When it got to the 20, bounced backward, and that's what the Trojans will take over. 23-yard punt. Welcome back. 9:18 remaining first quarter. 10-play drive by Oregon after that 4th down stop, but they couldn't do anything with it. Here's the way things started. Not well for the Ducks.
Well, the kickoff was fumbled. USC, big chance to take momentum. And then the call for the end around to Joe McKnight, stopped by Bacon. No momentum for SC, but they got the ball again.
At the 25-yard line. Quick pass this time. And a great job in the open field. Ball was caught by Vidal Hazelton. And a very good stop defensively by the Oregon Ducks. Let's take a look at the Kyocera defensive lineups for Oregon. And Nick Reed, an undersized guy, and in fact his coaching staff said if you saw this guy, you'd say he's a football player. Well, guess what? He's a football player.
Leading the Pac-10 in sacks right now.
2nd down and 10. 4 wideouts. They split the tight end Davis. Sanchez short drop, throws underneath, catch made by Turner. He's drilled at the 31-yard line. Time now for a Kyocera game break. Here's Mike Goldberg. Thank you very much, Cody. And he's had those kind of performances, remember. He has brought his team back on a couple of occasions. Can he do it again? Straight back Sanchez. Sanchez throws, too tall for Osborne. Jarius Byrd defending. Jarius Byrd, of course, the son of Gil Byrd, was a pretty good defensive back as well.
And he's done a good job this year, playing well. If Oregon's going to do well in the Mike Bellotti formula, they have to have corners that can play one-on-one, especially here in Autzen Stadium. Byrd doing a good job that time on Osbury. The ball was there, and it just kind of got by Osbury, and he's had a tough time getting started this year. They expect a lot of things from him.
That's Andy Brown, set to return this punt. And so far it has been a defensive battle. Woidnick doing the punting for USC. Hits this one high, turns it over. It's going to drive Brown all the way back inside the 15-yard line. Brown starts back, tries to get the outside, now cuts it back and is dropped as he gets to about the 28-yard line. 53-yard punt and a 13-yard return by Brown. No score, 7:41 left.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by
the Accord, Beyond the Road, all new from Honda.
Welcome back to Autzen Stadium. Oregon and USC were scoreless midway through the first period. Oregon will have it at the 28-yard line. This is Dixon on the keep. Gets it across the 30 to about the 32. Pick up a 4. They'll take that on first down.
Absolutely, but that's a bigger hit than they like Dixon taking. Fili Mawala with the stop that time. And We were talking about it, Barry. This is just a whole different player, Dennis Dixon, this year as opposed to last year. Last year, more interceptions and touchdowns. Took a lot of hits. This year, absolutely different story.
Makes great decisions over the middle this time. Catch is made by the tight end. That's Ed Dixon on the reception. And a first down. Now, Mike Bellotti told us that they grade the quarterback out on the proper decisions, and he said Dixon is over 90%. This time it's Stewart at the right side, takes a couple people with him and gets something out of nothing and pick up a 3. Let's take a moment to recognize our U.S. Bank Pac-10 Conference Players of the Week last week. Jonathan Stewart, man, who just carried that ball 251 yards against Washington, the second most in Oregon history. Alteron Werner, he made the deciding play in UCLA's win over California in the Rose Bowl. And Kai Forbath, who's having a great first year as a UCLA place kicker, 3 for 3. Stewart again, and Stewart this time gets into the secondary for the first time, gets to midfield. Pickup of 6. He runs hard. He took Taylor Mays with him, who's no small guy.
He's an absolute joy to watch. Right now, the way things have developed, you got a lot of good running backs in the Pac-10, but he is by far the best, in my opinion, just running with authority and speed every time he touches a football.
One more time, Stewart, he's going to get the first down. And he manages to take people with him, even when there's nothing there.
That time it was Kyle Moore that got dragged all the way to the sticks. And this is going to be a very big test for USC's defense. They didn't get a lot of help from their offense, just went 3 and out. The offense had a chance to gain up some momentum for the defense with the turnover right at the beginning of the game. And they have let this defense down thus far. This is a giant test for a good defense. How long can they be out there against this fast, innovative offense?
And Oregon offensively, they say they feel they should score every possession. They said they're disappointed if they have to punt it away. Dixon straight back. Now he'll tuck it away and run. He'll get to the 40, inside the 40 to the 38. Close to another Oregon first down. Keith Rivers on the stop. Well, Dixon, of course, guy who is a two-sport athlete, even though Oregon doesn't have a baseball team. He plays professional baseball in the Atlanta Braves organization. On track to graduate in 3.5 years with a 3.4 grade point average. Only class he's taken this year is billiards.
I didn't know they offered that.
Teaches you angles. And a catch made for a first down this time by Terrence Scott. We talked about Scott. They were going to redshirt him. They took the red shirt off last week, so this is only his second game. He was a JC transfer out of College of the Canyons. So it'll be first down, and again, they go, as always, with a no huddle. And here's Dixon on a keeper, cuts it inside, gets inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. And I'll tell you, this is a thing of beauty to watch.
It certainly is, just the misdirection and the way things are run and how they stretch, and go upfield. That time, April Spicer catching up, and the Trojans not doing a bad job of getting to the quarterback and tackling Jonathan Stewart, but not before they gain big yards.
And they're right back at the line of scrimmage, ready to run another play. Here's Dixon. He's going to get some room again. Goes out of bounds at about the 25. Everson Griffin, the freshman, chased him out.
That time you saw Griffin having to run faster than he's ever run in his life, though he is a pretty quick young freshman, just to get Dixon, just to edge him out of bounds. And this will tire you out. Look at the effort that Griffin's got to make just to get him out of bounds, and Dixon does not take the hit. He's in fantastic shape. He can do this all day, and USC's defense is getting tired.
Third down and 3. They give it to Stewart. Stewart, first down and more. Limp legs up. SC defender takes it all the way to the 11-yard line. What a great effort by Stewart.
That time Kerry Harris trying to get to the legs when you have a big giant guy, and you see the beautiful zone that Oregon's running, just clearing everybody out. When you have a guy that big going upfield and you're a corner like Kerry Harris, only 180 pounds, you try to get to his legs, but Stewart is just so fantastic on his feet, just so able to jump and move and get outside that he evades that tackle and falls forward.
Gain of 15, 11th play of the drive, the ball at the 11-yard line, first down. This is Crenshaw for the first time, inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Jeremiah Johnson, of course, injured a couple of weeks ago. On comes Andre Crenshaw, another talented back.
Yeah, he did not have a bad game. Pretty big yards, 115 versus UW. And like I said earlier, the wide receiver situation is almost the same. When you have an offense that's going this well, and Dennis Dixon's doing this well, and you have stalwart like Stewart starting, you can plug other guys in, and they get confidence because there's open space for them to run it.
Stewart back in the ball game. This is Stewart inside the 5, down to about the 3-yard line, running out to the 2. I'll tell you, there's not a lot of room in there, and he's gaining yards.
Well, watch how he gets his shoulder pads facing towards the end zone. You see that, how he gets upfield and then just starts moving those big legs toward his goal. When you ever get those shoulder pads pointing in the right direction, good things happen.
3rd down and 2. They have plenty of time because they don't hunt. And this time, straight up the middle into the end zone goes Dixon.
Just pulling the USC linebackers. 58, Maualuga biting on the fake. That's some of that undisciplined nature that DeMarco Farr was talking about before the game started. Maualuga is going to have to be more disciplined in this game and look at the offensive line as opposed to peeking in the backfield. That time, sucked away. Dixon takes it to the house.
13 plays, 72-yard drive. Took him 4 minutes and 51 seconds. 11 of those 15 plays running plays. Well, with 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining to be played here in the first quarter, Oregon leads at 7-0. Take a look at the Kawasaki scoring drive. We talked about it a moment ago. 4 minutes and 24 seconds. Importantly, Oregon has rushed in this game for 79 yards. With 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining to go in the first quarter, USC's average per game against the rush, 64. This kick is dribbled down to Johnson. Johnson gets in the gap. Tries to take to the outside, down at the 26-yard line. Walter Thurman on the tackle.
Well, look at the beauty of this offense. You're going to see Maualuga and Cedric Ellis both fooled by the fake from Dixon. If you get those two guys out of the way, then you're going to be in great shape. They don't even bother blocking Cedric Ellis because of the confidence they have in Dixon's ability and Stewart's ability to fake with that football. Just a masterful play, and the quarterback's untouched, running right down the middle of the field.
So now the onus falls on the USC offense. Sanchez gave to Washington, got a gap across the 30 to about the 32, maybe the 33-yard line. Pickup of about 7. Tukuafu on the stop for the Ducks.
Well, they tried Joe McKnight early in this game on 4th and 1. I don't think you're going to see that again. Chauncey Washington, a much more physical back, a senior out of Torrance, California, a guy that knows how to go upfield. And you're absolutely right, Barry. The onus now is on the USC offense. 13th play drive for the Ducks. A lot of minutes taken off the clock. That defense is absolutely tired. They're all sitting on the bench. This offense has got to pick them up and get some first down.
2nd down and 3. Give this time to Washington again, short of the first down. And it's Tukuafu again on the stop. And everything that the Oregon offense is doing, the defense is also.
Well, they seem to play better here at Autzen Stadium. Oregon's defense, not the strength of this team. Special teams and offense really are. But in this stadium, this defense can do some things. They play bump on the edges. And those front 7 get confusing and move around a little bit, and they use the crowd, and they play much better at home.
Now they're 3rd and short, a little over a yard. Out of the I formation once again. And again, it is Washington, and I don't know. It will depend on the spot. And I think it's going to be very close.
They gave the first down. Jeff Byers, the left guard, a big-time run blocker for USC, did a great job of pulling around, and Washington knew to get behind him and get upfield. John Bacon, Agimon in there, Bird even the corner, closing down on the play, but not enough to get Washington, who's going forward with some pretty good momentum. And there's the first down for SC.
At the 37-yard line. Quick pass this time to Hazelton. Great tackle. Big-time tackle by Walter Thurman. And had Thurman not made that tackle, there was some green.
Walter Thurman III doing a great job of closing down. Watch it. He's got somebody to deal with there in Johnson, but Johnson not able to make any kind of block, and Thurman getting to the legs of Hazelton in a hurry. Walter Thurman III out of West Covina, California, just a sophomore, but they love him. Very good tackler. Presses a lot more than Jarius Bird on the other side. Makes some mistakes, but a very aggressive corner.
Second down 11. Give this time to McKnight. McKnight's got a gap at midfield. Got one man to beat. At the 30, still on his feet. He's gone. And a flag is down. Flag is down back at the 42-yard line. So hold the phone. Holding against USC.
And Mark Sanchez, the quarterback, knew it right away. You see the dejection on Pete Carroll's face. He's being relatively calm for Coach Carroll. Very tough call for the Trojans at that point. You saw the great move by McKnight, the stop move. They called that one on Drew Radovich, who's had some sciatica problems. He's been injured all week. The right tackle, Drew Radovich, is charged with the holding. Here you see McKnight just taking off downfield. Deceptive speed. He's like a glider. Matthew Harper's the guy that got basically used on the move, and there you see Radovich. Tough to look at the other guys in the huddle after a penalty like that. There's Shiloh Rashal blocking. Can't really see much of a hold there.
Couldn't see the hold, so maybe it was a little bit away from the play itself, and it nullifies a 65-yard touchdown run. Back to pass, this time in trouble, and down goes Sanchez. And blowing in was Jerome Boyd. And with that, we come to the end of the first quarter. And a quarter much to the delight of the 41,000 on hand here at Autzen Stadium. End of one. Oregon 7, USC nothing. We're coming back. Seven to nothing ball game as we prepare to start the second quarter.
And here is the hold. You're going to see Radovich, and he is going to have a hold of Agimon. You see that. Does not let go. Agimon would have made that play on McKnight. That's a good call by the officials. Radovich with the hold. Negates a touchdown by USC, and they got the ball. Third and long.
3rd and 23. And they give us to McKnight again, and McKnight gets a little room across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. He got a little bit of it back. Let's go down to the sideline once more. Jim Watson, this crowd always a big factor. No exception today.
Absolutely, Barry. We're keeping one eye on the game, but we're keeping our ears on the crowd here at Autzen Stadium, which is considered the loudest venue in the Pac-10. They call it the Thunderdome, so we brought the decibel meter today. Now, just to give you an idea, a Babbling Brook is like 50, a Jumbo Jet's 140. I had it on that last sack of Mark Sanchez. These guys are pegging out at about 112 right now.
And let's see if somebody touched this football. This could be USC's ball, and it is. What a break.
That's the second special teams turnover this afternoon by Oregon. Both caused by their own guys. And you're going to see that one hits the foot of Garen Strong, and the Trojans get all over it. Very unfortunate play. for the Ducks. Darren Strong, that ball right off his foot, and it looks like Malaluga's the one that comes up with the football. Another giant break for USC, and a potential momentum swing in this game if their offense, who only has one first down so far in this game, can capitalize.
So a first down at the 33-yard line. This is Havili, the fullback. Stopped short of the 30, a pickup of about 3. Walter Thurman makes the tackle. 2 huge breaks. The first one, SC was not able to capitalize on. Now another opportunity in Oregon territory.
And that is not Oregon football to make those kinds of mistakes on special teams. They do not do that in Autzen Stadium very often. They have to play perfect on special teams and wait for you to make mistakes in this stadium due to the big crowd and the noise that Waddy was talking about.
This time Sanchez to throw, throws for Havili, makes the catch, and holding on for dear life was Patrick Chung. Pickup of about 3, and it's going to be 3rd down.
And a nice tackle by Patrick Chung there, hanging on, like you said. Junior out of Rancho Cucamonga, rover player for Oregon, and he has been their most productive defender for a long time.
So it'll be 3rd down and 4. And it's actually a little bit more than 4. McKnight in the backfield. Hazelton in motion. McKnight on the pitch. And McKnight with a little bit of room, and he's going to have the first down at the 20-yard line. Matthew Harper on the stop. Big first down for the Trojans.
And that's the most physical run that we have seen this year so far from Joe McKnight. SC calling a good play, getting the convoy out there. You see Byers and McKnight getting his head down and driving forward. That is not his game. Mostly he's a finesse guy, but that time Matthew Harper, the free safety, really feeling it from Joe McKnight, understanding where the sticks were. Real maturation process going on here with the young freshman.
Yeah, he has improved markedly since last we saw him. Give us to Washington. Washington gets a gap. Running over people down close to the 10-yard line. They'll mark it inside the 12. It'll be 2nd down. Walter Thurman again on the tackle, but all of a sudden Trojans started to open up some pretty good-sized holes. And Shiloh Rashal has just come out of the game, looks like with a shoulder injury.
Tiny Malu has replaced him. Shiloh Rashal, big-time player for the USC offensive line, and they were very happy to have him back, but it looks like he's out for the time being.
2nd down and a long 2. Davis split to the far side. And it gave us to the fullback, Havili, and he's going to be close to the first down. And I believe he's going to have it. This is a team that historically has been built largely on a tailback and wide receivers. And this year, really, when they really need a play, they're looking tight end fullback.
And USC football has changed in that way. Back in the day of Marcus Allen and Charles White, even though Marcus Allen did spend some time playing fullback, O.J. Simpson, he didn't have fullbacks that ran the ball at USC. They were mostly guys that blocked, and they were part of student body right, but Stanley Avili's added a new dimension, and they throw the ball a lot to him, and guys before him as well.
First down and goal just inside the 10-yard line. Play fake, Sanchez will throw, looks for Davis, now he's going to roll away. Throws for Davis, too tall. Davis stayed with that and actually made himself available. The pass was too tall.
And USC has made a habit of doing that on first down. We saw it in this game right with the original turnover. They will drop Sanchez back and try to get the ball to Davis. There you see Boyd with the pressure.
Ball just sailed a little bit on Sanchez.
Good defense all the way down the field. Dale Thompson trying to get open. No go.
2 tight ends, 2 wideouts now. McKnight, the tailback. On 2nd down. This is McKnight. Nothing doing. Stopped in the backfield.
That was a blown play. You have 2 relatively inexperienced players in there in a stadium like this. Mark Sanchez and McKnight going the wrong way, and now you see Shiloh Rashal coming back out on the football field.
And That is good news for USC fans. Loss of about 4 on the play. That'll be 3rd down and goal back at the 13-yard line. Havili is the lone setback. And McKnight comes in motion. Straight back goes Sanchez. Deep drop. In trouble. Has to step up. Looks to the end zone and throws it knocked away. Patrick Turner might have made the catch, but he was out of bounds.
Great defensive stand by the Oregon Ducks after a turnover. They responded well twice. You see the pressure coming for Sanchez. That ball never had a chance to be completed inbounds, but a great catch by Patrick Turner nonetheless. And the Trojans doing a great job of getting the ball upfield with their run game, but when it got down to it, the first down pass kind of set them back.
So a field goal try of 30 yards by Beeler. And it is on its way, and it is good. So USC on the board. And with 10:27 remaining to be played here in the first half, the Oregon Ducks lead the Trojans 7-3. Barry Tompkins, Petros Papadakis, 7-3. Oregon leads, 10:27 left. Oregon has overcome itself so far.
They sure have to open the game. The special teams turnover, but the great play by John Bacon on 4th down stops Joe McKnight. Here, Darren Strong, ball careens off his foot. USC again able to capitalize just a little bit, but not as much as they wanted to. They have held USC after those 2 turnovers. The first one 4 plays, only 23 yards, and then the second one 9 plays, over 20 yards, just a little bit over 20 yards. That is great defense by the Oregon Ducks, snatching back momentum there.
It's going to be Stewart out of his own end zone, and Stewart's going to be stopped short of the 20-yard line at about the 17. Stewart was not supposed to return kickoffs today because of the workload he has from the line of scrimmage, but they got him back there.
Well, after the fumble, you got to throw him back there. You need somebody that you're very confident in holding on to the ball, and Stewart, obviously a very confident ball handler. USC's defense should have a better shot in this possession for the Oregon Ducks because they got rest. They got a break with the turnover, and the SC offense was able to come back on the field. Not able to do too much, but get the field goal because of the turnover.
So the Ducks will start at the 17-yard line. First time the Ducks have had the football here in the second quarter. Dixon going to throw over the middle. Got a man. Caught by Dixon. Dixon all the way to the 41-yard line. Making the 46. 35-yard gain.
When you talk about versatility, Dixon has rushed and passed for at least 1 touchdown in each game this season. He's already got a rushing touchdown. This one, almost a touchdown throw to Dixon, his tight end, right down the middle of the field. Just a great play, and what an explosive offense the Ducks have.
It is amazing. Marking at the 49. This is Stewart, nothing doing. Right now, let's go to a Kyocera game break with. No, we're going to do that in just a moment. Gain of a yard from Stewart. Ball at the 48-yard line.
SC's defense doing a good job of smothering the big back that time and getting on him, but it's just frantic to watch this Oregon offense because very difficult to tell where the ball is going, especially when they got those black unis on.
Here's a quick screen this time, and Williams gets it inside the 40, still going close to the 35-yard line. First down, Oregon. That's a play that a lot of college teams run, but I'll tell you what, I don't think anybody runs it more successfully than the Ducks.
It's because they do such a good job of spreading you out all the way, so these lanes open up. Williams, junior out of Culver City, California, probably the best receiver on this team. They've had a lot of injuries to the other guys, as we've talked about. 6'5", 240, doing a great job getting that body going upfield.
So a first down right at the 35-yard line. Dixon this time has got all day. Throws wide open. and I mean wide open, is Garen Strong, and another first down at the 20-yard line. This time we meet it at Kyocera Game Break with Mike Goldberg. I'll tell you what, though, Mike, and Petros too, I really had an idea Georgia might play Florida tough today. That's a great rivalry, great rivalry.
Well, that quarterback, Tim Tebow, for Florida, a lot like Dixon here. These guys are having Heisman-like seasons.
Yeah, look at this time, and over the middle to Dixon, pickup of 7. Dennis Dixon now 9 for 10 for 100 yards. And has rushed for 45 more.
A lot of these Trojan defenders, Cushing, Ellis, Lawrence Jackson, they remember a mobile quarterback like this from the Rose Bowl. It was Vince Young from Texas, only Vince weighs 30 pounds more than Dennis Dixon. But I don't know if Vince can run this offense the way Dixon's running it. He is flawless.
It is a thing of beauty. It really is. Stewart this time will pick up a yard or two. It's going to be 3rd down, a little more than a yard.
Like we said, he's just a different player from last year. You look at the interceptions from last year, more than the touchdown passes this year. The interceptions down 11.
Mike Bellotti told us he set the tone in the spring. He did not throw an interception the entire spring practice.
Something just clicked, and the new offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, coming in from New Hampshire, a graduate of Columbia University.
Roar, Lions, roar. There's that screen again. And that's going to be close. I'm not sure that Crenshaw will get the first down. It'll depend on the spot. I think it's going to be a little short. And it'll be 4th down. A little bit of a decision, although I would have to think the Ducks would go here.
Well, they certainly have the confidence, and it looks like they are going to go. What a great battle this is between this offense and this defense. You can see the activity and the aggressiveness of the Trojan defense, but they are losing the battle right now against this very versatile, very explosive Duck offense.
No hesitation. They will go on 4th down. Again, no huddle. And Stewart's not going to get it. And so this time it is the USC defense that jumps up and does the job.
Cedric Ellis making another giant play and catching Stewart, taking him out. Forcing the flip.
3 left first half, Oregon by 4. What a play by Cedric Ellis.
Watch him. They expect him to look in and peek at Dixon, but he doesn't. He was fooled on the touchdown, but that time goes after the right man in Stewart and makes a great stop. Once Ellis gets his hands on you, that's over. You're not going anywhere. It doesn't matter how powerful you are. And Jonathan Stewart, most certainly, very powerful. Great play by the USC defense, forcing the turnover on down.
First down at the 13-yard line for the Trojans. Sanchez going to go up. Throws underneath to Habili, and Habili stopped as he crossed the 15-yard line. Be a pickup of about 4. Kwame Ajiman on the stop for Oregon.
Now, thus far in this game, Mark Sanchez not been a very giant factor. He hasn't gone downfield. They've been very conservative. They're going to have to open it up a little bit. The Trojans have been running the ball pretty well, but they're going to have to open this game up because this Oregon offense doesn't look like it's going to slow down anytime soon.
Sanchez 6 of 10, only 32 yards. Give this time to Washington, and Washington looking for someplace to go, and he's taking people with him. About a yard short of the first down. Jerome Boyd hanging on.
And we've yet to see Stephon Johnson, who's a guy the Trojans also like to give the ball to and hit downfield, but he's yet to be in this game, and now Washington's coming out, and Joe McKnight, the freshman, more of a finesse guy, is coming in on the 3rd and short.
He will line up in the tailback spot. 3rd down a yard. They stack the receivers to the right side. And now Hazelton in motion. And a sneak, and Sanchez will have it, I believe.
Believe it or not, the quarterback sneak is a pretty big element added to this Trojan offense when Mark Sanchez is, and he's much more mobile than John David Moody. Even though Moody is faster in the 40, Mark Sanchez a lot niftier on those feet, a lot quicker, and you see him gets behind the guard on the right side and pushes through. There's John David Moody, still with that broken finger. He's been watching now. This is the third straight week.
Trojans with the first down at the 24-yard line. And this time whistles blow before things get started.
Timeout, USC, number 1.
USC had called a timeout with 5 minutes and 12 seconds remaining to be played here in the first half. Oregon clinging to a 7-3 lead. We're coming back. Thanks very much, Goldie. USC with the ball, first down at the 24-yard line. Davis starts in motion. Sanchez, play fake, rolls right, throws, caught this time by Hazelton. First down Trojans at the 38. First time he has thrown it down the field. Jarrisburg defending.
You got an idea there of Sanchez's ability to throw the ball on the run and his arm strength. Very basic play there. Just a comeback route by Hazelton. Nice route on Bird. Hazelton coming clean and Sanchez finding him.
At the 39-yard line. Play fake again. Sanchez will go up. Throws wide open this time. Is Stephon Johnson, and Johnson will be stopped short of midfield and maybe short of the first down. Mark Sanchez has bided his time.
He's the guy that's waited around, the biggest recruit in the country in 2004. Everybody's been waiting for him to step up. John David Moody having a great year last year, coming in as a Heisman candidate. But Sanchez with that broken finger, the door is open and he's run through it in a big way.
8 of 12, 56 yards for Sanchez now, second and short. Two tight ends. This is Stephon Johnson. He'll be close. Rashawn Harris made the stop. And it was McKnight on the carry and not Stephon Johnson. And we'll measure.
So that's 3 different tailbacks we've seen along with Avili running the football in this game. And you could say that USC really has a stable of those guys and they like to use them all, but there is another flip side to that, and that is that these guys don't really get to be in a rhythm. They're on the field, they're off the field, and they don't really get a good feel for running the football on the offensive line, but it's worked okay thus far.
And a first down on that carry by McKnight. You can see McKnight's confidence growing as he learns the offense more, gets a little comfortable with it.
Well, there was a certain point of this season that literally 50% of the time McKnight touched the ball, he was either fumbling or running backwards. But more and more, you started to see him open it up, the long run with the holding call. You're seeing more and more of that. He had the long touchdown run, just 1 touchdown this year against Notre Dame. But he is becoming a much more confident player running that zone between the tackles.
Chauncey Washington, the tailback now. Sanchez going to go up again, straight back to pass. Throws incomplete, bounced off the pads of Hazelton.
Hazelton that time doing a good job, Barry, trying to come back to the ball and make a move, but just thought about running it a little too soon before he secured it. And as he came back to that ball, Sanchez with the arm strength, the ball bounced right off his chest, and that was that.
McKnight back into the ball game at the running back spot. 2 wideouts now. Osbury in the ball game, split to the far side of the field. And give to McKnight. Spins ahead across midfield down about the 47-yard line. Going to be a pickup of about 4. Casey Matthews couldn't quite hang on to him.
And with the conservative nature of this USC offense, incomplete passes really killed them. They only went downfield once with Sanchez against Arizona. That one was intercepted by Cason. And they went downfield once against Notre Dame, and that one fell incomplete. They don't really have that deep threat, so any incomplete passes when they're not going forward really hurts this team.
And now a third down at 6. Short drop. Sanchez has to pull it down. Now he'll run, and I think he's going to be short. Now the decision falls on Pete Carroll. Now, normally this is a situation where Pete would go.
And any way to keep that defense off the field is a great decision for Pete Carroll, but it looks like he is going to punt it. Now, this is not indicative of what a Pete Carroll USC football team does. They usually would never hesitate, go right back in the huddle and run into their play, but they're being very conservative with Mark Sanchez as their quarterback at Autzen Stadium.
So they will play the field position game. This is Pflugrad, slips the first tackle, but that's it. He's dropped at the 17-yard line. College Football Saturday on FSN is brought to you by Verizon Wireless, by Aflac, ask about it at work, and the First Down Marker is brought to you by Overstock.com. With the convenience of shopping at home, you can save up to 70% on amazing deals from Overstock.com. It's all about the O. So Oregon will start here at Autzen Stadium at the 17-yard line. They've only been able to get into the end zone one time. They have been somewhat self-destructive. 2 fumbles, stopped on a 4th down effort deep in SC territory the last time. Dixon going to throw, bides his time, and then throws to Dixon. That is Dixon to Dixon. Dixon with an X and Dixon with a K. Kerry Harris makes the stop, close to a 1st down.
They've been very successful going to the tight end on 1st down, especially in this second quarter. And what more can you say about Dennis Dixon? I know it's only the first half, but he has been absolutely flawless in this football game.
Straight back to pass again over the middle. This time it's Stewart. Stewart making people miss. Now he's going to try to bounce it to the outside and stopped on a nice tackle by Kevin Ellison. Actually gave up a few yards there. Probably cost himself a 1st down. Well, a First Down Marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Your entire order ships for just $2.95 at Overstock.com. Live better with Overstock.com because it's
all about the O.
It is. We got a timeout on the field now, called by Oregon. Oregon's first timeout. Each team has called one. Take a look at our...
By a very quality opponent, and that Cal team is stark raving angry with the losses that they have had in the Pac-10 this football season.
On FSN, 7 o'clock, part of our triple header. UCLA and Washington in the middle. Dixon throws, catch is made, 1st down. And I think they're calling it incomplete. It was Dixon. It looked like he had it. But they're going to bring it back, say incomplete pass. Take another look.
Trying to go over to the middle of the tight end. It's done very well here. And, well, you can make an argument that that ball was controlled.
They might take a look at this here.
Taylor Mays is on defense.
No, I guess they're not. Dixon straight back again. Dixon going for it all for Williams. Can't catch it. And flags down. It'll go against SC. Terrell Thomas. Pretty good defense, I thought, but he never looked back for the ball.
And when you don't do that, it's a bad scene. You're going to see Terrell Thomas on the very big Jason Williams. And that is pass interference all the way. Never looking back. Both hands up. Easy call.
1st down.
You know, the shootout everybody has predicted is not really developed here in the first half. Not that it won't open up in the second half, but both defenses playing pretty well.
Yeah, I think they are. Oregon has moved the ball almost every possession, but...
Well, you heard Pete Carroll this week talking and saying, look, it doesn't matter how many yards you give up. It matters how many points you give up.
Well, that's right.
They've always been bend but don't break, but Oregon's offense has been impressive in this football game. And 4th down, they got stopped. A couple of penalties and a couple of turnovers and special teams. Other than that, they've been pretty impressive.
Dixon straight back again. Now he's going to run. Well, trying to take it to the outside. Look how easily he got around. The Trojan defender takes it to the 43-yard line. That's That's just a heck of a play, and he got some help once again on a nice block by Jonathan Stewart, a pickup of 8. Well, coming up at halftime, DeMarco and Mike Goldberg on the Hitachi Halftime Show. Going to bring you up to date on everything happening in college football. Tell you about the great triple header that we have. We're just in game 1. We're going to be with you here on FSN. A long day until on into the evening. Dixon straight back again. Throws, and Williams had it hit him right in the hands. He couldn't hang on.
Well, there was a ref in the area. Kaluka Mayama was in the area. Harry Harris was in the area. Middle of the field has been pretty good to the Ducks, and that one really did hit Williams right in the hands. Unable to come up with it. That was a first down for sure.
So now it'll be third down, less than a yard. Dixon to Stewart. Stewart outside, and he'll get the first down, all on individual effort.
There were Trojans there and big ones. Feeling Awala, Keith Rivers, who leads his team in tackles. Taylor Mays, the big giant safety, 235 pounds. There's Rivers. But Jonathan Stewart just too dangerous when he gets that body headed in the right direction. That's his game, and he plays it well.
Inside the 40-yard line. Blitz comes this time. They pick it up. Dixon with all day open in the middle of the field is Pflugrad. First down. It was Stewart on the catch for the first down. Just found himself in space.
Well, it looked like Pflugrad. That's a guy that finds spaces in a zone. You don't expect this from a tailback, but Stewart able to get in that zone, show the quarterback his numbers. You don't see tailbacks doing that, going up and making that type of catch with their arms above their heads. They usually wear much bigger shoulder pads. Jonathan Stewart with a giant play for the Ducks.
First down at the 24-yard line. Dixon again over the middle and incomplete. That time Jason Williams ran it out, and I think Dixon was thinking he was running a post. Cushing with a good push that time for SC.
But USC has started to realize they're not able to get pressure with their front four, bringing Brian Cushing, the Sam linebacker, and finally getting a hit, a very rare hit on Dennis Dixon. Incomplete passes are good at this point, though, for Oregon. Stops the clock. They got 30 seconds to make something happen here, and I trust this offense has the ability to do it.
30 seconds left in the first half. Ducks lead it by 4. Dixon going to the corner of the end zone for Williams. No. Incomplete, could not quite hang on. There was a lot of pushing going on, too.
Perfectly thrown ball by Dixon right in the hands of Williams. Kerry Harris is there, and like you said, it got pretty physical between the two guys, slapping hands and wrists. That's a ball that could have been caught, would have been very close.
So we'll bring about a third down. More importantly, 24 seconds remaining in the half. 10th play of this drive for Oregon. So the Ducks have to think about a first down. They still have 2 timeouts. They come with a blitz again. Dixon had to unload early. And Dixon that time had to throw the ball a little bit earlier than he wanted to. And that'll be fourth down. The field goal team will come on.
The Trojans are starting to get what they want. You're going to see Cedric Ellis coming in with a hit, Lawrence Jackson, and Dixon finally taking a few hits. Seemingly, it's the first time this season that he's been hit by a very fast and angry USC defense. Great job by the Trojans that time.
So Evanson to try the field goal. Be a 41-yarder. He's got plenty on it, and it is good. And so with 15 seconds left in the first half, Oregon leads it 10-3. 15 ticks remaining here in the first half. Oregon over USC 10-3, 41-yard field goal for Evanson. And I'll correct his name, is Evenson, not Evanson.
Got an E in it.
Yeah, we had that part.
2 of them. I got a lot of vowels in my name.
I was just going to say, I'd like to buy a vowel. This is going to be Johnson at the 1-yard line. Tripped up from behind. Good effort that time. Making the tackle from behind for Oregon was T.J. Ward. So the Trojans will have 10 seconds. I suspect they won't try anything too fancy here.
Well, they've had some offensive problems, at least with getting into the end zone thus far. They've had some great opportunities to do so with the special teams turnovers by the Ducks, but Mark Sanchez and his crew of guys unable to punch it in. You're going to have to score touchdowns to win this football game if you're USC.
At their own 16-yard line. They'll give this time to Washington, and he runs right smack into Casey Matthews. And that should be the last play of the first half, and it will be a really entertaining first half of football.
Well, we've seen very solid football on both sides with both teams. Defensively, everybody stepped up. It feels like the magnitude of this game is weighing heavily on both teams. And other than the special teams turnovers and the holding penalty, we haven't seen a lot of mistakes. It's been a great Pac-10 football game, and we have not seen the offensive shootout thus far that a lot of people expected.
All right now let's take it out to Jim Watson. Waddy?
Barry, we heard so much about USC's defense coming into this game. Mike, your defense looks terrific.
Our defense is doing a great job. We've put them in really difficult situations. They've given up one field goal. That's pretty unbelievable considering the fumble on the first kickoff and then the ball being touched on the other. So I'm really pleased and proud of them. We just got to keep the ball on offense. I think we can wear them down a little bit if we keep the ball.
You ran the ball early in the game. Now you're passing it. You think you have SC off balance a little bit?
Well, we got to try to keep them off balance. We got to try to wear them down. Our tempo usually wears on guys in the second half. We keep the ball. We're going to try to be balanced. I think you have to do it against a great defense.
Appreciate the time. Mike Bellotti with a lead at halftime. Keep in mind, guys, Oregon's defense, number 68 in the country coming in. USC, number 3. Right now, let's send it to our college football Saturday studio for the Hitachi halftime show with Mike Goldberg and DeMarco Farr.
Back to Autzen Stadium as we prepare to start the second half. 10-3 ball game, Oregon over USC. I'm Barry Tompkins. That guy right there is Petros Papadakis. And Oregon put up all the numbers that they usually do in the first half, 224 yards. They average 550 per game. But really, there's only one important stat.
And that is the touchdown scored in this game. And so far, Oregon's the only one that has put it in the end zone, but it's only happened one time. Oregon's offense has been a joy to watch, and frankly, so has the USC defense. They've been running around the field doing some good things and holding up that firepower that the Ducks possess. Offensively, USC is going to have to start scoring touchdowns in this game because Oregon's offense is waiting to explode. They have got to open it up with Mark Sanchez as their quarterback, or they're not going to win this game.
And that is the bottom line. They're going to get the football first to start the second half. Pete Carroll and his staff historically make great adjustments, although I have to think that this Oregon offense is a very difficult team to adjust to. Evenson will kick it away. Reed and Johnson will be the deep man for USC. 10-3 ball game. Oregon leads it. Evenson drives this one. It's going to be Johnson at about the 5-yard line. 15-20. Little gap. To the 30, 35, and dragged down from behind. A good return by Johnson. Let's take a look at our Cooper Tires big stop of the game.
Well, it was early in the first quarter. USC on 4th and 1, running an end around. Questionable call. Joe McKnight getting stopped hard by John Bacon. You got to expect penetration on 4th and 1, and Oregon did just that. And really just stifled that play. That play could have changed the whole momentum of the game. SC gets that first down.
Trojans on first down. They give it to McKnight. McKnight slipped by the first man, but not the second. And we go to the sideline. We don't ever want to slip by Jim Watson. Waddy?
Barry, I was actually in the USC locker room. I had a chance to talk with Pete Carroll as he ran out to the sideline. You know, he's always an optimistic guy, but he did admit those 2 turnovers and the stop, they got to get more points than just 3. He said defensively, you got to stop the quarterback run. Just too many easy yards on 1st and 2nd down. And then offensively, he said, if we don't run the ball effectively in the second half, we cannot win this football game. SC, 55 yards rushing in the first half. Not very good.
And started out with a rush of 3 yards here. Chauncey Washington is now the tailback. And Sanchez will go up in trouble and throws for Washington. Just got that off before taking the sack. Fatete was there right in Sanchez's grill.
Good play by Fatete, senior out of Medford, Oregon, 310 pounds, getting on Mark Sanchez. And also a very good job by Sanchez finding a way to get rid of that ball at the feet of Chauncey Washington and not take that sack.
So it'll be 3rd down now and 7. Just 3 of 7 of 3rd down conversions in the ballgame for USC. Desmond Reed in at running back for the first time. 2 tight ends. Sanchez, late blitz comes. Sanchez throws, got a man wide open as Turner. 1st down into Oregon territory at the 38-yard line. Walter Thurman wasn't anywhere to be found.
And that's what USC is going to have to do more of in this football game. Not only winning on 3rd down, but letting the strong arm quarterback drop back and find people and throw that ball downfield and take some chances. If USC cannot do that or does not do that in this game, if they don't call those plays, they're going to have a hard time.
Gain of 22, longest play of the ball game for the Trojans. 1st down at the 37 of Oregon. Washington got about a yard. John Bacon, first man 2, and Bacon having a nice game at a middle backer spot. 1st down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Save up to 70% on brand name products. Live better with Overstock.com because it's
all about the O.
Yes. At the 36, 2nd down and 9. Fake, Sanchez to throw. Now he has to roll away from pressure. Wants his receivers to come back to him. And finally throws it for Davis, and Davis cannot make the catch. And it'll be 3rd down. Good coverage that time by the Oregon Ducks.
Mark Sanchez trying to direct traffic with 2 or 3 guys in his face. You don't often see that. And we have seen him flushed out to the sideline and trying to make these spectacular throws. Matthew Harper there with very good coverage on the spectacular USC tight end, Brett Davis, who has not had a very big game thus far this afternoon.
So 3rd down, and now the crowd again becomes a factor. 3 wideouts. Stephon Johnson, the tailback. This is Johnson. And Johnson will be stopped well short at the 32-yard line. And so from here, if you're thinking field goal, it's a 49-yarder.
Patrick Chung that time with a good tackle on the first carry. He's had a catch with the first carry of the afternoon for Stephon Johnson. Looks like USC is going to go, and you have to figure they were expecting to do that with a very conservative call on 3rd down, and it looks now like Joe McKnight is going in for Stephon Johnson.
4th down and 5. At the 32-yard line. 7 times in a row, the Beavers have snuffed a 4th down attempt. And a timeout being called here. And we'll take one as well. 10-3 ball game, Oregon leads. College Football Saturday on FSN is brought to you by Hitachi. Only Hitachi HD TVs capture all the sports action. By Keystone Light, the beer that's always smooth, even when you're not. And by Kyocera, the new value frontier. So it'll be a 4th down and 5. Trojans called a timeout to discuss this play at the 32-yard line of the Ducks. And a flag falls, and I think that's going to be a freebie. Catch is made for a first down by Turner, and I'm quite sure one of the Ducks came across. And I think it was Nick Reed who got across the neutral zone a little bit early.
Well, that play was a little jumbled by the flags, but what a throw and what a catch by Mark Sanchez and Patrick Turner. What poise on fourth down.
Defense, offside, penalties decline, first down.
That'll take it down to the 11-yard line. 21-yard gain on the pass to Turner. He's at a 22-yarder and a 21-yarder on this drive.
Sanchez standing strong and getting it to Patrick Turner, the junior out of Nashville, Tennessee. A guy, Patrick Turner, has came into USC with great expectations and hasn't quite lived up to him. Have a couple flashes here and there has had Patrick Turner, but certainly not like Mike Williams or Dwayne Jarrett or Steve Smith like they expected.
So a first down at the 11-yard line. Huge fourth down play by the Trojans. McKnight goes in motion, creating an empty backfield. Straight back Sanchez over the middle. Catches made, fumble. Ball is still loose and picked up by the Ducks. Jarris Bird has it, but I think they're going to call this play dead. Habili was the receiver, but I believe the officials are saying that the play was dead. They're going to call it an incomplete pass.
Well, that was a bang-bang play, and I'm not sure if they're going to be able to look at this, especially if that whistle blew. There's the throw. Havili never quite had it, was juggling that ball. That is the right call on the field. It's an incomplete pass. They're going to see it in slow motion. John Bacon closing in, and Havili did turn his head upfield, but never quite had that ball.
I think that is the right call. And now they'll stop playing. They will review this. It is not Mike Bellotti who is asking this to be reviewed. This is just up in the booth. Bill Richardson there will take a good long look. I would think this would not be reversed. During the booth review, World Financial Group asks, have you reviewed your finances lately? World Financial Group, helping you move from dreaming to doing.
Review my finances. This is the game of the century.
Here's another look at it. See what you think.
Here's the play. Havili trying to pull it in. Never looked like he had a very clear possession of that football. Definitely not clear enough to overturn. Great play by Bacon, getting his hand in there and disrupting Havili from gaining possession of the ball, and a great play by Bird.
I don't think he ever had the ball.
Nah, it didn't look like it.
So I would be surprised if this is returned. Jack Folliard, excellent official, will tell us in just a moment. It's Mike Bellotti, and I don't know if Mike is really thinking that this might be turned around or not.
Here it is again. It's a well-designed play, empty backfield, and they bring Havili over. Official gets out of the way pretty well. But once again, it just doesn't look like he had it.
Well, here's Jack to tell us.
After review, it's been determined that the receiver never had firm control of the ball. The ruling on the field is confirmed. Incomplete pass, second down.
Right call, well done. So it is nothing more than a second down at the 11-yard line.
And USC is going to have to score touchdowns in this game if they want to win. Field goals are not going to be enough. Here they are with a great opportunity. The Oregon defense has been pretty good at this football game. The Trojans are going to have to find a way to punch it in.
Trojans trying to make sure they got the right personnel in the game. Brought Ronald Johnson out and sent Havili in. Stephon Johnson is the tailback. Havili out shift. Short drop, Sanchez looking for someplace, throws. Ball is caught this time, but for very little gain by Stanley Havili. Might have gotten about 2.
And as you can see, Havili is a guy they're very comfortable throwing the ball to and handing the ball to. Doesn't matter if it's over the middle. That time, way out the flat. He's a guy that can do a whole lot of things for this Trojan deep offense. And he has been able to block pretty well, too, even though that's not the strongest part of his game. He's a runner, pass catcher, and then a blocker. That's pretty different than what USC normally have.
So it'll be 3rd down and 8. McKnight is now the tailback. Hazelton goes in motion. Sanchez deep drop. Going for the end zone. Jump ball, touchdown! Patrick Turner. Willie Glasper doing what he could, but Turner, a big target at 6'5", came down with the ball, and what a factor he was on this drive. 3 catches, including the touchdown.
Stepping up huge is the young man out of Nashville, and Sanchez has found him. Never really looks him off. Willie Glasper is the guy on the coverage, and Turner finding a way to use that big body, get between Glasper and the football and pull it down.
Try for point is up and good, and just like that, we are tied at 10. 10:53 remaining to be played. 3rd quarter. We're coming back.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by
The Accord. Be on the road. All new from Honda.
USC has tied the game. There's the guy who tied it. Turner, 3 catches on that last drive for 52 yards. And Sanchez, 4 of 7, 54 yards on our Kawasaki scoring drive. A 10-play drive, 62 yards. Patrick Turner, the man.
Pulling off what he was expected to do by Southern California fans for the first 2.5 seasons of his career. Just taking over with that big body on that first drive of the second half of the Trojan.
This is going to be Crenshaw at the goal line. Little gap up the middle, and he couldn't quite get to it. Dragged down at the 22-yard line. Might have been just a step late getting into that gap. Clay Matthews makes the stop. Incidentally, the crowd here just less than 60,000, the largest crowd ever in the state of Oregon. It's impressive.
That's hard for me to believe, having played here back in 1998 when Akili Smith was a quarterback. It's just a confidence-sucking, pride-swallowing siege for the opposing team here. If you lose 2 yards or something like that, or give up a 5-yard gain, you just expect to get back in the huddle, but this is a place that doesn't let you forget even the little things. These fans are smart. They know when to get on you.
Stewart and Crenshaw in the ball game now. And this time it's Dixon on the keeper, steps out of a tackle, now pitches to a tackle. He pitched that ball to Jeff Schwartz.
Well, I've seen a lot of things. I've never seen him play like that. First, he's going to fake it to Stewart, then stop, and sucks in Lawrence Jackson, and when he does, pitches it out to Jeff Schwartz, the senior out of Pacific Palisades, California, 340 pounds.
Here's Stewart with a first down and more to the 40-yard line, dishing out punishment. Kerry Harris was given a straight arm by Stewart that knocked him about 4 feet out of bounds.
Well, he does a lot of arm curls, I guess.
He's got some guns, doesn't he? A gain of 15 and a...
I don't know how you run a play to the tackle. I mean, was that called? By Cushing. And that's the kind of thing that you have to do to Dixon to contain him, because otherwise he's going to run all over you and make you look silly.
There's a blitz from the outside, and they give it to Stewart. Stewart will get it up to about the 42-yard line. Going to be a gain of about 4 on first down.
And all the way up here in the booth, you can just feel the strength of Jonathan Stewart as he runs into the middle of this USC defense. Ray Maualuga, strong guy in his own right, making that stop. It's like a clash of the Titans in there, 5 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 6. And now a timeout called by Dixon. So Oregon will call its second timeout. We'll have only one timeout remaining, tied at 10. Let's take a look at our Honda on-campus feature. And you and I were in the training room of the Oregon Ducks yesterday, and you're just kind of getting a little glimpse of what it's like. And I'm telling you, it's like the best, the finest, the highest end athletic facility you have ever been in.
It's like you live in Beverly Hills or the Carlisle Hotel in Manhattan Island. It is beautiful here.
And Hayward Field, of course, that will be the site of the Olympic trials, and they're redoing that too. So all kinds of activity here on the campus of the University of Oregon. This time he puts it in the belly of Stewart, keeps it himself, does Dixon. It picks up about 3. Sid McEllis on the stop. It'll be third down.
Dixon started the game completing 12 of his first 13, and he hit one of his last 6 attempts in the first half, and he's come out looking pretty good running the ball. Hasn't thrown in the second half yet.
In his defense, though, he had a couple of drops. Put it up right here, and now he's in trouble. Scrambling. Now he's going to throw it away. Got outside the box, threw it away. Heading move by Dixon, but it's going to be fourth down.
Great job by the USC defense that time, doing what they do best, which is swarm and use their speed. Lawrence Jackson leading the charge. And they're doing a great job of containing Dixon right now. They're having to play zone in the secondary just to make sure that he doesn't get outside on them. And that time, Dixon unable to get outside the USC Trojans defense. Looks like they've adjusted pretty well so far here in the second half.
And on 4th and 3, they will punt the football. And this one will hit at the 5-yard line and be down at the 4. So a very effective punt that time by Josh Seria. Well, at halftime of today's game, Ian Capros from McKinleyville, California, had an opportunity to participate in the Oreweek $1 million health kick. Ian attempted to kick a football 35 yards through a big O. Ian did not hit the target, but still managed to walk away with $5,000. Oreweek is the official bread of the Pac-10. Oreweek, bread perfect. Trojans at their own 5. Washington right up the gut to the 12. And all of a sudden, Trojan offense is picking up too.
Well, Patrick Turner and Mark Sanchez stepped up big on the first drive of the second half, and now they're starting to get Chauncey Washington going, trying to get that offensive line, which is big but battered, going forward against an Oregon defense not particularly strong against the run.
Second down and 3. They bring Davis split to the far side. Give it a fullback this time. And Havili is going to be a little short of the first down. About a yard short. It'll be third down.
And the pace of this game so far in the second half is starting to favor USC. Big, lumbering, angry pace with the clock running down.
Stays on as the lone setback. And this is Havili, and Havili, I believe, is going to get the first down. And the ball might be loose in there. Oregon is saying they have it. They'll call from the officials. This will be a huge sequence if, in fact, it is ruled a fumble.
I wouldn't want to be on the bottom there, Barry.
That could be ugly. Oregon ball.
And this crowd is right back in it. Great opportunity for the Ducks to go ahead now with the turnover. The Trojans trying to catch Oregon off guard, getting quick to the line of scrimmage, trying to hit that fullback right away. Stanley Avili dead behind the center, and you see Avili stopped up, tripped by Bacon early, and as he's going down, that ball comes out.
And I believe it was Will Tukuafu who came out of that pile with a football.
You know, sometimes when you try to go quickly and get up to the line of scrimmage quickly, it hurts the offense a lot more than it hurts the defense. There you're going to see the ball come out.
It's down on the bottom there.
Looked like Will Tukuafu not only came up with the ball, but knocked it loose.
Well, a huge opportunity now for the Oregon Ducks. This is Stewart, not much. Trojans really stepping up defensively.
It seems that they have made the correct adjustments, but here with a short field and that spread offense, it's going to be very difficult for USC to stop Oregon from scoring. Cedric Ellis that time with the big stop.
Mike Bellotti told us they need touchdowns in the red zone. And they've been very effective at doing that. Second down and 10. Ball at the 16-yard line. Stewart again with a big gap to the 5, to the 4, touchdown!
And like we said, when this is a team that gets inside the 20, they have those big offensive line splits and they create these giant vertical gaps on the football field. And a guy that knows how to get through a vertical gap is Jonathan Stewart. Great run.
On to try to add the 17th point is Evenson. 17-10 Ducks. 5:25 left, third quarter. We're coming back. Oregon has recaptured the lead on the 16-yard run by Stewart. Evenson kicks off. This is headed for Ronald Johnson. Johnson at the 10, 15, to the 20. Steps out of a tackle at the 30 to the 32-yard line. Take a look at our Kyocera wireless call of the game, Pete.
Well, watch Mark Lewis, the guard, come here and just clean Rivers out. You see those big splits from the offensive line of Oregon, allowing Stewart to get in those vertical lanes and take it right upfield. Great block by Lewis on Rivers, really swallowing up the USC linebacker and their leading tackle. Great call, great execution by the Ducks that take the lead at home.
First down at the 32-yard line. Pretty good return by Johnson on the kick. Stephon Johnson, the tailback. And up on first down is Sanchez. Throws and throws it away. Turner was open.
Just when USC was in a position to take the pace of this game away from the Ducks with their running game, edging out first downs, Avili with the fumble, and the game changes now. USC down a touchdown. Gonna have to start going up top again with Sanchez. They don't want to panic, but they do have to start ripping off chunks of yardage offensively. They can't go back to running the ball the way things were when it was tied.
They bring Avili split to the near side this time. McKnight, the tailback. Sanchez on a swing to McKnight, and McKnight is surrounded. Jerome Boyd really stuck him, and he had a lot of help from his friends. First down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. With the convenience of shopping at home, you can save up to 70% on amazing deals from Overstock.com, because it's all about the
O.
Third down now and long. 3rd and 13. Desmond Reed, the tailback. Walker to the far side. Ducks showing blitz. Sanchez steps up, throws, catch made by Turner, first down. And Turner has come up with 3 huge catches here in the second half.
The last 2 on Willie Glasper, the sophomore. Young kid out of Pittsburgh, California, only 184 pounds and under 6 feet. Turner has been using him up. Perfectly placed ball. Great catch by Patrick Turner, and he is starting to really step up in this football game. USC and Oregon, third down is completely and totally imperative if you want to win the football game. Doesn't matter if it's long or short.
First down at the 48-yard line now. Sanchez going up on first down. Now a shovel pass to Turner again, and Turner is surrounded at about the 48-yard line. Still not bad first down yardage, almost 5 yards. Tukuafu makes the stop.
That time Sanchez making the decision, kind of jump into the pile while Turner is trying to get upfield. And they already have John David Moody with the injured finger, and they don't need another injured quarterback.
6 carries, or 6 catches, I should say, 84 yards now for Patrick Turner.
Right now he's playing the game of his life and the biggest game for USC thus far this season.
Second down and 5. This is Chauncey Washington and a great tackle. Slipping under everybody was Walt Thurman to make the stop on Washington. Loss of about a yard, maybe 2.
Seemed like Chauncey Washington missed the hole. He had Drew Radovich pulling around. He needed to make a cutback a little bit earlier, try to take it outside, and that's where those corners can get to your legs. That's exactly what happened.
So now it'll be 3rd and 7. We have a momentary stoppage here. And I think they're going to get Sam Baker out of the game. Baker also had been on the shelf for a couple of games, just came back in this ball game. Butch Lewis, redshirt freshman, will replace him. Baker, nothing if not tough.
He's been having a hard time all year. It's just like his body has not seemed right, and many people claim that Baker is the best offensive lineman in college football, but he has certainly been banged up all year.
Nabili comes to the near side again. Straight back goes Sanchez. Throws wide open Davis in the middle of the field. First down. Sanchez finding receivers wide open on crucial downs. Found Davis right there. First catch of the day for Davis, but a big one.
And you're starting to see the confidence of this SC offense swell as they let the young quarterback drop back, stand strong, and deliver that football. Fine protection by the offensive line, even with their best player going out on the previous play, Sam Baker. And Davis finding a spot and laying down.
First down at the 38-yard line of Oregon. Straight ahead is Washington into the secondary inside the 30, about a yard short of a first down. Pick up a 9. John Bacon on the tackle. Trojans moving the ball almost at will right now.
And this is saying a lot about the character of this USC team. On the road in the most hostile stadium, many argue, in college football. Just had a devastating turnover, just gave up a touchdown. Here they come back on offense and putting together a very impressive drive, winning on third down and going down the field with Mark Sanchez leading the way.
Second and short. 2 tight ends. And Sanchez going to go up. Steps up, throws, intercepted. Picked off by Harper. Harper still on his feet at the 30, steps outside 35. At the 40, looking for a block, and caught from behind at the 42-yard line by Ronald Johnson. Huge play.
And just when the youngster looks very poised, he goes to a often unused tight end, often used in the blocking game, with Dale Thompson not really thrown to a whole lot. Sanchez trying to find him. He's done a great job of distributing the ball to different people since he's been playing. This time, trying to get the ball to Thompson. It's underneath him. Actually, that's Anthony McCoy. Only 2 receptions on the year. Sanchez trying to find the young tight end. And Matthew Harper taking advantage of the ball behind him. Sometimes when you throw the ball to guys that don't expect it very often, they don't really know how to come back or fight for that football, but that ball was behind McCoy.
Harper returns at 22 yards. Ducks will have it, and whistles blow at the 42-yard line. Flag is down.
On the offense, number 61. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Call that on Shirji. First penalty of the game for the Oregon Ducks, so they have played very clean football. Take a look at our Aflac trivia question. Can you name the last team other than USC to win the Pac-10 title outright? Got to go back a bit.
I believe I can.
First and 15, they give it to Stewart. Not much. About 2. Keith Rivers on the tackle.
Well, even though the USC Trojans turned that one over in Oregon territory, the defense has had some time to rest for the Trojans, and they have not been chasing in this second half as much as they were in the first half.
So it'll be second down and 13. 4 wideouts for the Ducks, and a quick screen this time, nothing doing as Scott is dragged down for a big loss on the play. And that is a play that did not have a chance.
Kevin Ellison, a strong safety, was a very solid player for the Trojans, sniffed it out. Also Brian Cushing all over that one, and the USC defense, despite the turnovers, starting to play with a lot of energy and a lot of confidence in this game.
Third down and 14 now for Oregon. And a give to Stewart. Stewart trying to get a little room, slips by one man, gets to midfield, and he is going to get the first down on a great effort after he had been stopped. What a play by Stewart on the last play of the third quarter. A pickup of 15 yards on the play and a first down as the third quarter comes to an end. Big play on 3rd and 14. Oregon leads it 17-10. We start the fourth quarter 17-10. Oregon over USC. Barry Tompkins, Petros Papadakis, Jimmy Watson on the sideline, and USC came into this game -3 in giveaways, takeaways, and it's reared its ugly head again.
Well, these turnovers in the second half for USC are apocalyptic for them. Every play in a big game like this is huge, and when you turn the ball over on a drive like that, and then Oregon just converts a giant third down with Jonathan Stewart, you're in trouble, and the Trojans could be in trouble right now, Barry.
Stewart not in the ballgame right now. Crenshaw is the running back behind Dixon. Pump fake this time. Now Dixon throws, and wide open for the catch, and a big gainer is Pflugrad. Pflugrad still on his feet to the 30-yard line. That pump fake, I think, is what gave Pflugrad the extra yardage, a gain of 17. Taylor Mays makes the stop and a first down at the USC 30-yard line.
Giant pump fake for Dixon, too. Brought the ball all the way down to his hip. You don't see that very often. And Pflugrad, 172-pound coach's kid, true freshman, get behind Garen Strong with a good block and matriculating his way.
Ooh, Hank Stram.
I know he's an old partner of yours.
Hank Stram.
34 toss power trap.
Stewart back in the game. Now here's a flea flicker, and Dixon has no place to go. Well defensed, and now a late flag.
That looked better than when he pitched it to the tackle.
Yes, it did.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense.
Wow.
Number 10.
Wow.
15 yards, first down.
Huge penalty.
That one's going to be on Brian Cushing, who's been playing very well in this football game. He's number 10. There's Fili Mawala putting pressure. And there it is right there. And that is the right call. That's a personal foul face mask. You saw the head twist. That's a good call by the official.
No question. Takes it to the 15-yard line.
Totally unnecessary, too, for the sake of the tackle. Cushing was there a little late, just got that hand in there.
Dixon give to Stewart. Stewart looking for a place to go and got something out of nothing. A gain of about 2. Cedric Ellis on the stop for the Trojans.
Well, this was the play that made this drive 3rd and long for the Ducks, and you see the misdirection there, the handoff counteraction, and Stewart just doing it all himself. 5, 6, 7, 8 Trojans get hands on him before he gets the first down, and the power and speed and tenacity of Stewart is unreal.
There's Flugard again on the swing pass. He'll get it down to about the 11-yard line. Only a gain of about 2. Kevin Ellison makes the stop. Actually, that was a lateral. That ball was thrown backward. It's going to be 3rd down and 6.
And you're starting to see Oregon doing the things they were doing in the first half to this USC defense. Going sideline to sideline, making them chase, making them move, making them run, spread the Trojans out, and then running upfield.
This time they bring Williams to the near side. 2 wideouts to the long side of the field. 3rd and 6, big play. Dixon straight back. Now he steps up, he'll run, he's got room. 10, 5, first down at the 3-yard line. You know what you gotta love about Dixon, there's no hesitation. Once that decision is made, he's gone.
And that's what quarterback is all about, making quick decisions. And Dixon is showing a lot of toughness in this football game because he is taking monster hits from monster players on that USC defense and popping back up. He is not a big guy, 6'4", very tall, but only 205 pounds. You see those skinny legs, they get going fast.
He's got 73 yards on the ground right now. This time it's Stewart on the play fake, touchdown. Well, no, short. They're going to mark it at the 1-yard line. Dixon kept the ball, looked like Stewart. It fooled me and it fooled USC. And Dixon kept it. It was a repeat, really, of the first touchdown run.
There you see, that's one of the better fakes you're ever going to see in football. Cushing and Malaluga getting there late, and Dixon wanting it desperately.
And Dixon, I think, reaching across the goal line. There is no sign yet from the officials. And they're going to say it's short.
Oregon going very fast here inside the 5-yard line. Lining up right away and trying to catch that USC defense off guard.
The ball literally, well, there you see, about 4 inches from the end zone. Dixon to Stewart to the end zone. Touchdown Ducks.
The Ducks overcame their 2 turnovers in special teams in the first half. USC has not been as fortunate here in the second half with the turnovers that they have given to the Ducks. Jonathan Stewart getting headed in the right direction, rolling to the right side. Jeff Schwartz with a great block, looked a lot better than he did when they pitched him the ball. And a big-time touchdown for the Ducks, putting some distance between them and the Trojans.
Try for point is up and good. It's a 24-7 lead. 24-10 lead, Oregon over USC. 24-10, Oregon over USC with 11:39 remaining to be played. Oregon will kick it away. Reed and Ronald Johnson, the deep men for Southern California. And this one is driven. There'll be no return. So the Trojans will start at the 20-yard line. They've been their own worst enemies here in the second half.
Now, the 2 turnovers have just killed them, especially with the way Oregon's offense can get going on you. And Oregon's offense has looked very strong here in the second half. Now, can Mark Sanchez win this game for USC with his arm? Can he throw the ball downfield and pick up big chunks of yardage? Does USC have a receiver like Patrick Turner ready to step up and come back in this football game? Those are a lot of question marks for the Trojans. This is going to be a tough place to come back in.
They start at the 20-yard line. Stephon Johnson is the tailback. Short drop. Sanchez, now he'll run. And the flag is down, and so is Sanchez at the 26-yard line. And now we'll see about the flag thrown by the referee, and that does never bode well for the offensive team.
Number 53 in the offense. First down.
Let's go to the sideline. Jim Watson, Waddy.
Barry, it seems like everything is going wrong for USC. They're going to have to make this comeback without Sam Baker, the old warhorse at left tackle. That hamstring is flared up again. He is out, so Butch Lewis is in at left tackle. And after that last interception, Mark Sanchez walked up and down the bench, kind of a mea culpa, telling everybody, that was my bad. When he got to the receivers, they didn't accept it. They scolded him, and they told him they need more from him. These are the kind of games in which you make your bones as the quarterback at USC.
Well, if he's going to do it, he's got to get getting. McKnight, the tailback. 2 wideouts to the right side of the field. This is McKnight. As he crosses the 12-yard line, tripped up. Pickup of about 3.
Well, Pete Carroll has lost just 13 games in 7 seasons at USC. Currently a 14-point deficit for USC. The biggest loss in the Pete Carroll era with USC was 11 points at Notre Dame in his first year in 2001. This would be an unbelievable blow to the USC program. They cannot come back in this game. Now, USC dies hard, Barry. We've seen it.
We have seen it. So I wouldn't quite close the book on this one yet. Sanchez in trouble. Rolls away. Still in trouble. And finally gets what he can, which is about a yard. Lost the ball after it hit the ground. I don't think that they will call this a fumble. This first down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Live better with savings up to 70% on amazing deals from Overstock.com. It's all
about the O.
Now it's 3rd down and 50. Straight back. Sanchez in trouble, hit as he throws. Ball is caught this time by Walker, but it's going to be well short of the first down. And he was really cracked. Nick Reed was putting a good push on Sanchez. Hit him right as Sanchez unloaded the ball. So Oregon will get it back, and ostensibly should get it back in pretty good field position. That is Pflugrad, the deep man. And a short kick. Pflugrad runs up, makes a dangerous catch, and is dropped immediately by Mar-a-Lago, just short of midfield. 9:31 left in the ball game. Ducks with the ball and the lead by 14. Welcome back. It's a 24-10 ball game. 9 minutes, 31 seconds remaining. Oregon will have it in great field position. Can you name the last team other than USC to win the Pac-10 title outright? That's our Aflac trivia question. The answer is these Oregon Ducks in 2001, 7-1 in the Pac-10. Ended the season ranked number 2 in the land.
A lot of people thought they should have gotten into the national championship game that year over Nebraska. Nebraska was destroyed by Miami in the Rose Bowl, and Oregon destroyed Gary Barnett's Colorado team in the Fiesta Bowl.
Stewart and Crenshaw in at the running back spot. This is Stewart. Stewart almost bounced that outside, and had he been able to keep his feet, he might have been able to go away. As it is, it'll be a loss of about a yard.
You don't see that a lot. Jonathan Stewart falling on his backside and not falling forward. Cedric Ellis that time with the monstrous, powerful push on the very powerful Oregon tailback.
Well, remember we told you SC came in here averaging just 64 yards, giving up 64 yards defensively rushing. So far today in the ballgame, Oregon has 176 yards rushing. Stewart at 96, now 95. Dixon's at 76. Stewart again, nothing doing. That's going to be 3rd and long. Lawrence Jackson right in Stewart's grill that time. It is not too many times that you get the Oregon Ducks 3 and out. Trojans with an opportunity to do that right here. Trojans, or rather the Ducks, 9 of 13 in 3rd down conversions. Looking at the 3rd and long here. Dixon's got all day to throw it. Throws to the sideline. And Dixon is going to be stopped short of the 1st down at the 46, maybe the 45-yard line, about 4 yards short. And that will bring on the punting unit.
Trojans in the right defense that time, only rushing 4. And Dennis Dixon had a lot of time to deliver it, but he had to go underneath to his tight end, Ed Dixon. And the Trojans were there to make the stop and contain Ed Dixon. Though he did run pretty hard, almost got to the marker.
So Syria on to do the punting. And McKnight will be the deep man at the 10-yard line. Trojans need a big play. This is kicked straight up. It will hit in the end zone. A little too much leg that time. 45-yard punt. He'd rather had about 43. We'll take a timeout. 7:53 left in the game. Ducks lead it by 14. College Football Saturday on FSN is presented by Kyocera Wireless. Eastern inspiration and Western innovation in the palm of your hand. Kyocera Wireless. Tomorrow is rising. And brought to you in part by Cooper Tires. Don't give up a thing. And the first down marker is brought to you by Overstock.com. Live better with savings up to 70% on amazing deals from Overstock.com. It's all about the O. Sanchez in trouble, trying to get away from pressure. Finally throws a comebacker incomplete. Great job by Sanchez just to avoid a sack.
And right now, the Ducks know that Mark Sanchez and the USC Trojans have got to drop back. They've got to go downfield, and they have to put touchdowns on the board. That enables their front 7 to pin their ears back, run stunts, run blitzes, and really go after that quarterback. That time, not allowing Sanchez any time to set up and throw that football down the field. That's going to make it doubly hard for the Trojans to come back in this game, not to mention the crowd.
Turner comes to the near side. Sanchez play fake, in trouble again. Now he has to step away, throws a comebacker. The ball is caught short of a 1st down by Hazelton. Gain of 7. Let's take a Kyocera game break right now with Mike Goldberg. Mike? Yeah, it's happened before and they've come back, but can they do it again?
Sanchez took a shot there by Nick Reed, his former teammate at Mission Viejo High School in Southern California. He might be a little groggy right now.
We've got a stoppage here for the moment. They're going to review this catch, I believe. So they'll take another look at this. I guess they're looking to see if he actually either had possession or was in bounds. I don't know. The bottom line is give Sanchez a little breather. Let's take another look at this.
Sanchez letting go of the ball. That was Reed hitting him in the mouth. And that looks like a catch to me.
Does to me too.
Hazelton's shown a lot of body control this year for USC. He is a very good athlete. They just need him to be more consistent.
Hazelton, 4 catches for 20 yards in the ball game. Turner's been a deep threat for USC. He's got 6 for 88 yards. The big play, of course, was the interception by Harper, which...
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. 3rd down.
Interception by Harper, probably the game turner, I believe. Let's go to Jim Watson.
the Oregon coaches had accepted that the first time through. When they showed it on the big screen, the crowd erupted in such a fashion. All the players went nuts. They were hitting the coaches. They got Belotti's attention, and he decided to challenge it. In this case, keeping the home folks happy, it cost him a little bit.
So it's 3rd down and 3. Trojans have to have this. Four-man rush. Sanchez throws too wide, intended for Davis, and I can't imagine Pete Carroll going for it here. No, he won't. He'll punt it away.
USC is really struggling just to get first downs in this football game, let alone score touchdowns, and you see the frustration of Pete Carroll. He knows when it comes to bowl games, the loser of this game, the best they can hope for is the Holiday Bowl, because the loser is not going to win the Pac-10, and the Pac-10 is not going to get 2 BCS teams in.
High snap, and doing a good job just to get that kick off. And the Trojans will down it at the 36-yard line. Let's take a look at the Pontiac game-changing performance, and you got to give it up for the Oregon defense. They have just done a great job all day long. They have limited the Trojans at the moment to just 10 points, and they have forced turnovers, and the turnovers have really been the difference in the game. No play more than this one here. For being named tonight's Pontiac Pac-10 game-changing performance, Pontiac will award Oregon $1,000 to its General Scholarship Fund. Pontiac, designed for action.
Well, Barry, USC loss here will all but end the unprecedented run of 5 straight BCS Bowl appearances, and USC is 4-1 in those BCS Bowls. This is a very unfamiliar spot for Pete Carroll and his football team to be in.
And of course, the Ducks running the football as well as they do, with 7 minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the ballgame. It is going to be tough for USC. They need 2 scores. This is Stewart. Stewart inside across the 40 to the 41. Pick up a 4. Keith Rivers on the tackle for the Trojans. And the clock now very much the ally of the hometown Ducks.
And even though there's 7 minutes, just under 7 minutes now on the clock, Oregon is going to be in a 4-minute drill, which means Stewart, when he runs the ball, is not going to want to hand that ball back to the referee until he asks for it. They're going to wait, even though they're in a no huddle, until that clock runs down. Dixon's going to take his time, as he is now, calling that play.
So it'll be 2nd down and 6. This time a little pump fake, and Dixon on a keep, but a good defensive job that time, stepping in to make the tackle, Lawrence Jackson. Well, let's go back to September 22nd, 2001. Then number 7 Oregon against USC. And it was a happy day for a while for Pete Carroll, but not to be, as Oregon comes away with a victory.
Matchup of 2 NFL quarterbacks in that one, Joey Harrington and Carson Palmer. And it always seemed like for a while those games between Oregon and USC were going down to the last play of the 4th quarter. This one doesn't look like it right now.
3rd down. Dixon in trouble, trying to get outside. Now he throws and throws it away. Crowd wanted interference, but clearly uncatchable ball. Dixon, the intended receiver, trying to come back to his quarterback. And so the Trojans do force a 3 and out.
USC's defense has stepped up. Oregon's offense become a little more conservative as they're trying to run the clock down, and sometimes that hurts you. That gets you those 3 and outs. But USC's defense, you can't really blame them. It hasn't been the issue in this football game for the Trojans, and all year really the defense has been playing very well. The offense has been the one side of the ball that has quieted down for the Trojans this year.
Wobbly kick and a fair catch called for by McKnight at the 15-yard line. Remember, we are still
consistent team in the UCLA Bruins in the Carl Durrell era. They beat people they're not supposed to, and they lose to people that they're not supposed to lose to.
Back, short drop. Now Sanchez looking deep, throws for Hazelton, makes the catch. I thought Hazelton got away with a push-off, to tell you the truth.
You got to do what you got to do when it comes down to this part of the game. Jarius Byrd and Hazelton going at it, and it did look like at the last second Hazelton got freed up. Let's take a look at it. Hazelton kind of running a post and then to the corner, and does get both hands on Byrd and frees himself up. Not called. Nice throw by Mark Sanchez.
In at 28. Don't go anywhere yet. Ball at the 38-yard line. Sanchez with all day to throw it. Over the middle. Caught by Turner. First down at the 14-yard line. Sanchez delivering 3 outstanding balls in a row here.
And just under 5 minutes left in this football game. Again, USC has got to get into the end zone, and then it's really on and cracking.
The ball just inside the 15. Sanchez throws for the end zone to Osbury. He's got it! Touchdown, Trojans! Flag down, but I think that's going to be interference against Oregon.
Osbury, a very big receiver, 6'4", 225, redshirt freshman out of Lemoore, California.
On the defense, number 6. Penalties declined. Touchdown.
Well, that happened in a hurry.
This game just turned on a dime. That by far the most impressive Mark Sanchez has looked as the USC quarterback, stepping up on the road and delivering that ball perfectly to Osbury. It didn't even look like he was ready for it. It just fell into his lap. Beautifully thrown ball. 4 straight great balls from Mark Sanchez.
85 yards in 48 seconds, and just like that, it is a 7-point ball game. 4 minutes, 44 seconds remaining in the game. Well, P, all of a sudden it's a ball game here.
Mark Sanchez stepping up in a big way there and just picking apart that Duck secondary, finding Turner, finding Hazelton, and finding Osbury in the end zone for the big touchdown. First touchdown of the year for David Osbury. This one is far from over now with 4:44 on the clock. The Oregon offense is going to have to come back out on the field and be a little less conservative. Much more conservative than they were on the last couple drives, or much less, I should say.
Sanchez last 4 plays, plus 19, plus 28, plus 24, plus 14, 7 points. And it's kind of taken the air out of the stadium for the moment, too. This kick is going to be headed for Alston at the 10-yard line. Alston to the 20 and stopped as he crosses the 25 to about the 26-yard line. Let's take a look at our Keystone Light always smooth moment of the game, and you just saw it. This is absolutely perfectly thrown ball for the score.
Smooth is the word. Look how it's dropped in there despite the pass interference call. Osbury barely having to make an effort for that ball. Perfectly delivered. And sometimes you get a strong-arm guy like a Mark Sanchez, and he throws it a little too hard, and guys have a hard time controlling that football. Some of the best quarterbacks of all time, guys like Tom Brady, Joe Montana, they throw a very catchable ball. That was a very catchable ball.
So now Oregon's going to have to do a little business on the offensive end, and they don't on first down as Stewart is stopped after a gain of not more than a yard. Lawrence Jackson, who's come up big in this game, makes the stop on Stewart. It'll be 2nd and 9.
On the last series, Lawrence Jackson, when Oregon was being more conservative, got some good pressure on Dixon. That time, got some big paws on Stewart.
Well, you want to start talking about dramatic comebacks, you only have to look back as far as Thursday night when Boston College came back against Virginia Tech to win the game in the last couple of minutes. This is Stewart with a gain of about 3 more. It's going to be 3rd down and 5. Fidi Moala on the tackle that time.
Well, Oregon in this situation, when in the last series they were using time on the play clock, they don't have to call conservative plays, but they do continue to have to run that clock, and they are not doing that. They're still running their no huddle and trying to go a little faster.
Trojans have 2 timeouts. Oregon only has 1 timeout remaining. Dixon going to throw. Blitz comes. Dixon throws. Incomplete off the hands of Williams. very catchable ball hit him right in the hands. Let's jump away for a Kyocera game break with Mike Goldberg. Mike.
Well, Barry, you have game 1 coming up. We will give you game 2. Patrick Cowan and the UCLA Bruins are on the road at Washington State. The Bruins trying to remain unbeaten in Pac-10 play. Cowan trying to remain unbeaten as a starter. Barry.
All right, thanks, Mike. That's coming up right after we get out of Dodge and we go on into the evening with Arizona State and California. Meanwhile, there's still a ball game going on here. Oregon has got to give it back to USC. A short, wobbly punt. McKnight handles it at the 31-yard line and is stopped immediately. So plenty of time, clock not a factor, and a flag is down. Oregon only ran 1 minute and 24 seconds off the clock.
And that could have very well been 1 minute and 44 seconds. They snapped the ball with a lot of time left on the play clock there. Not very smart clock management by the Ducks there.
Jason Williams had a ball hitting right in the hands that would have given Oregon a new set of downs. And that's something, you know, in hindsight, you might go back and think about it. It's going to go against USC.
Another personal foul face mask. The penalty differential in this game has been unbelievable in favor of the Oregon Ducks. A lot of face masks, and we've seen most of them. They've all been good calls.
So it's going to back USC up. They would have actually had pretty good field position right around the 30-yard line. Instead, they're going to have to start backing around the 17.
And Oregon really has 3 penalties in this game, 2 of which that were declined.
During the kick,
pass interference.
Personal foul, number 23 on the receiving team. 15-yard penalties from the end of the kick. First down.
Well, they went 85 yards in 48 seconds the last time. They got more time to work with here.
More time, but they really hurt themselves there with that penalty. Can Sanchez do it again and start finding those receivers? We will see.
Stephon Johnson will be the tailback. 3 wide receivers. And the give is to Stephon Johnson. He gets a little something. Across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. He picked up about 6 yards on the play. Ajiman makes the tackle, but pretty good line push by the Trojans.
And this has been a team that struggled a little bit with their identity this football season, the USC Trojans. This is the definitive drive of the season for Pete Carroll's team.
Give again to Johnson, stopped in the backfield this time by Walter Thurman. Great penetration and a sure tackle.
People are going to wonder about that play call. First down with the run. That was understandable that time. Giving it to Stephon Johnson again and losing yardage. Didn't work out as well.
Now Reed comes into the backfield. Johnson leaves. 3rd down and 5. Huge play right here. Straight back Sanchez with time. Throws caught by Hazelton. And he's going to be close, but I think short of the first down. It's going to be 4th down and about a yard, I think. Jerome Boyd makes the tackle.
Hazelton that time doing a good job of slithering forward. Sanchez doing a good job of finding him, working his progression. And here comes the down of the year for both these football teams so far.
No question about it. Oregon has been very effective on 4th downs defensively.
Look out for that quarterback sneak. We talked about it earlier in the game. Mark Sanchez, very effective, taking it himself.
They got a yard to go. The pitch this time to McKnight. 1st down and plenty more. Still on his feet at the 32-yard line. And the Trojans' drive continues, a gain of 7.
They faked the dive to Havili. That's the play he fumbled on 3rd down in the 3rd quarter that really changed this football game. That time they faked the dive and flip it outside, sucking the defensive end in. Very, very good call by Steve Sarkisian, USC offensive coordinator.
1st down at the 33. There's a screen for McKnight. McKnight tries to bounce it outside, now cuts back. Runs into the umpire and is stopped as he gets to about the 37-yard line. Pick up a 4. Reed and Boyd on the tackle defensively for Oregon. And McKnight slow to get up. So the Trojans have called their second timeout. They will have only one timeout remaining. 1 minute and 1 second remaining in the ball game, and it's a 7-point Oregon lead. Trojans, field goal no good. They've got to get a touchdown.
And right now it looks like USC is not being able to rip down the field the way they did on their last drive. The Oregon defense has tightened up. They've been more effective, forcing USC and Mark Sanchez to go short and work progression and find backs. And guys of that nature, the wide receivers have yet to be really involved other than Hazelton.
It's interesting the way Oregon is huddling up on the sideline. They have 3 separate huddles. One for the defensive backs, one for the linebackers, one for the down line. It'll be 2nd down and 6. And the clock now becomes very much of a factor. USC has 1 timeout remaining. Sanchez straight back. Steps up, throws. Hazelton has it cracked as he gets the 47-yard line, but he hangs on. Now the Trojans will hurry to the line of scrimmage. The clock will stop while the chains are moved. Hodgman and Harper really stuck him, but a first down for the Trojans.
All 3 wide receivers for USC who have been much maligned this football season, stepping up huge. Osbury, Hazelton, and Turner.
Short drop this time. Sanchez bounces it outside. Now he's going to run, try to head for the sidelines. Dives out of bounds to stop the clock. A gain of 2. Pretty heady play by Sanchez. 38 seconds remaining.
And when Sanchez is going well, you can kind of feel the energy that he brings to this USC offense, and he is truly bringing a sense of urgency here at the end of the game, trying desperately to tie it up. Dives out of bounds and makes the right play. USC's dominant stretch of 5 years in Division I football is really on the line here with this drive.
They have 1 timeout remaining, so they can throw the ball over the middle and call a timeout and save some time. Seven-step drop this time, and he throws to the sideline. Davis can't hang on. And now it's going to be 3rd down.
At this point in the game, incomplete passes are not bad for USC as long as they're not on 4th down, and you turn it back over to Oregon. That stops the clock and allows them to huddle up and call another play. Really, Barry, this seems to be the most competitive top half of the Pac-10 we've seen in years.
No question about it. I think it almost goes beyond the top half, to tell you the truth. I don't think anybody right now particularly wants to play Oregon State.
They're looking pretty good, and Stanford's on the come.
3rd down. 3-man rush for the Ducks. Sanchez throws to McKnight. He's got the first down. And now let's see what the Trojans do. They can hurry to the line of scrimmage. McKnight limps away. They are not apparently going to call their last time out right here.
And McKnight could not get off the field there. He wanted to. He's limping. He's lined up out wide.
They're just going to spike the ball anyway.
They had to do that in order to get McKnight off the field.
So McKnight, they're looking at his left knee, and he will come out. Reed will come back in. They still have a timeout remaining. It's 2nd down. The ball's at the 33-yard line. They don't need to use the sideline exclusively. Sanchez straight back again with time. Throws over the middle. Intercepted. Harper has another one. Harper at the 40. Harper steps out of bounds, and this game, for all intent, is over.
One of the oldest rules in quarterbacking, they tell you, don't throw the ball late over the middle. Sanchez waiting a little too long, maybe a little too confident in that strong arm. Tries to fire it in there, and Harper makes it pay for the 2nd time in the 2nd half. The hero of this football game for the Oregon Ducks, stepping right in front of Fred Davis, who's had a subpar afternoon. Harper Harper is the man in Eugene tonight.
It's in his genes. Willie Harper, of course, former All-American at Nebraska, played in the NFL for many years. His dad going to be very proud of his son Matthew today. And Dixon takes a knee, and this one's in the books. SC could still stop the clock once, and they will do it. So it's not over yet, so they're going to have to get the fans off the field, even though Dixon has the football and is running off the field, and now a fan stops and says, you got to go back out there. Do this one more time.
Their third and final timeout. Please clear the field and leave.
Even the Duck is trying to get people off the field. It's chaos right now on the field at Autzen Stadium. These are smart fans, though. They're starting to figure it out. They got to get off the field in order for this game to end at their Ducks to secure a victory. And this is a different football team we have seen from USC over the years. They did not go down easy, but that final turnover 3 in the second half ended the game, and the Oregon Ducks hang on at home. Fantastic performance by Mike Belotti's team, in particular his defense. The offense we expected to be great, but the defense doing a great job coming up with those turnovers, Barry.
Absolutely, and I think that's what's going to be talked about nationally, is about their defense. This time it is over. Trojans can't stop the clock. Student section pouring onto the field. And there is joy reigning supreme here at Autzen Stadium.
No question about it. Oregon is still very relevant now in the national race and the BCS race. Oregon is still a team to beat nationally and a team to watch. USC, now the best they can really hope for is the Holiday Bowl, because the way the Pac-10 is beating itself up, it doesn't look like they are going to get two teams in that BCS.
Sure, Arizona State is watching this game very closely. Should they have their way with Cal today, which is going to be easier said than done. You'll see that game tonight at 7 o'clock here on FSN, but they come up here to play Oregon next week. And that will have great national implication. Here is that last interception.
Mark Sanchez, a little too confident, throwing it into triple coverage there. Great performance down the stretch by Sanchez to get his team in a position to tie this football game, but that throw proved too much. Matthew Harper, athletic interception, his second in the second half. And the Oregon Ducks not doing the unthinkable, because USC has shown that they are beatable this year, but the Oregon Ducks hanging on and winning a tough game at home, and a very good performance, overcoming some adversity, especially in the first half with the two special teams turnovers, with their quarterback, Dennis Dixon, who has had a renaissance year thus far, and their tailback, Jonathan Stewart, who's an absolute stud, coming up with a great victory at home. Best victory of the year for Oregon, unless you count going into the Big House and blowing out Michigan.
Well, I'd say they're both pretty good. And the thing is, when you start to think about Oregon in the national picture, remember that they play the 6th hardest schedule in the country. And they are literally 1 yard away from being undefeated.
That fumble versus Cal is going to loom large in the BCS picture, but I think voters and even to some degree the computers understand the relevance of that game versus Cal and what Cal was at that point in the season, and just how close Oregon has come this year to being undefeated.
Well, it's been quite a year, and this is quite a football team, and it's a football team that I think you're going to see an awful lot more of, because I think you certainly have to consider Oregon amongst the elite in the nation now.
They were very down last year, ended the year with some losses, did not look good. Mike Belotti, the dean of Pac-10 coaches, has really turned this team around. You look right now at the BCS top 5, and Oregon very relevant there at number 5, and we'll see when those standings come out tomorrow how the voters react to this victory.
Yeah, going to be very interesting. LSU had a bye. They did not play this week. Arizona State, of course, now that game with Cal, which had a lot of significance to begin with, has maybe even more significance. And there'll be more answers next week, as we said, as Arizona State comes up here to Eugene to do battle with these same Oregon Ducks. So it still is kind of